Today, we're diving into the life of one of the most brilliant, influential, and deeply controversial figures in literary history, Ezra Pound. Ezra Pound was born in Haley, Idaho, in 1885. A prodigious intellect, he blazed through university, studying languages and literature with a ferocious appetite. By his early 20s, he knew he wasn't destined for a quiet academic life in America. He felt a calling, a mission to, as he famously put it, make it new. So in 1908, he sailed for Europe, landing first in Venice and then settling in London. He quickly became a key figure, a literary talent scout and editor extraordinaire. If you were a promising young writer, you wanted Ezra Pound in your corner. He championed the works of T.S. Eliot, famously taking Eliot as sprawling manuscript for The Waste Land and editing it down into the condensed masterpiece we know today. He helped James Joyce get Ulysses published, and he promoted the careers of Robert Frost and William Carlos Williams, among many others. His apartment was a revolving door of the era's greatest minds. While he was busy promoting others, he co-founded the Images movement, which called for a new kind of poetry, one that was direct, precise, and free of sentimental fluff. The idea was to present an image, an intellectual and emotional complex in an instant of time, as he defined it. That's imagism in a nutshell, 2 lines that paint a vivid, unforgettable picture. He began work on his life's project, a sprawling, epic poem called the Cantos. This wasn't just a poem. It was an attempt to write the history of the world, to synthesize all of human knowledge, from ancient Chinese philosophy to Greek myths to American history, into a single, monumental work of art. He would work on the Cantos for the rest of his life, and it remains one of the most ambitious and challenging works ever written. Early sections are breathtakingly beautiful, filled with lyrical passages and historical depth. But as the poem progresses, it becomes more dense, more personal, and more entangled with his increasingly radical politics. And this is where the story of Ezra Pound takes its dark turn. Disillusioned with Britain after World War I and increasingly obsessed with economic theories, Pound moved to Paris and then to Italy in the 1920s. He became a fervent admirer of Benito Mussolini's fascist regime. He believed that Mussolini was the strong leader who could fix the world's economic problems, which he blamed on a system of international banking he called usury. His political views grew more extreme, and his writings became laced with virulent anti-Semitism. He saw a conspiracy of Jewish bankers as the root of all evil. When World War II broke out, Pound made a catastrophic decision. From Rome, he began making regular radio broadcasts for the fascist government, beamed to the United States. In these broadcasts, he railed against President Roosevelt, the war, and what he saw as a global financial conspiracy. He was, in effect, committing treason against his own country. When the Allied forces took Italy in 1945, Pound was arrested by the U.S. Army. He was held in a reinforced cage, open to the elements, at a military detention camp in Pisa. For weeks, he endured harsh conditions, sleeping on concrete, exposed to dust, heat, and glaring floodlights at night. It was here, in this outdoor cage, that he had a mental breakdown. But it was also here that he wrote some of the most moving and beautiful sections of the Cantos, known as the Pisan Cantos. These passages are filled with regret, memory, and a profound sense of loss, reflecting on the beauty he had witnessed and the ruin he now faced. Brought back to the United States to stand trial for treason, Pound's literary friends, fearing he would be executed, rallied to his defense. They argued that he was insane, and the court agreed. Instead of a prison sentence, Pound was committed to St. Elizabeth's Hospital, a government asylum for the insane in Washington. He would spend the next 12 years there, but his confinement was bizarre. His room became a literary salon. He was allowed to read, write, and receive visitors. A new generation of writers, like the beat poets Allen Ginsberg and Jack Kerouac, came to sit at his feet, learning from the master even as he was held as a psychiatric patient. During this time, he continued to work on the Cantos and even won a prestigious literary prize, the Bowling Prize, which caused a massive public outcry. How could America's top literary award go to a man who was an accused traitor and an unrepentant fascist? Finally, in 1958, after a long campaign by his friends in the literary world, Pound was released. The charges were dropped on the condition that he return to Italy and never come back. He sailed back across the Atlantic, giving a fascist salute to reporters upon his arrival in Naples. He spent his final years in Italy, a quiet, haunted figure. In a late conversation, he reportedly said, "I have lived all my life believing that I knew something. And then a strange day came, and I realized that I knew nothing." He died in Venice in 1972 and was buried there, the city where his European journey had begun. So, how do we remember Ezra Pound? Without him, the 20th century literary landscape would look completely different. He was a master craftsman, a tireless promoter of genius, and a poet of immense vision. His life is a cautionary tale about the dangers of intellectual arrogance and how even the most brilliant mind can be led astray by hateful ideologies. He remains a paradox, a creator of profound beauty who embraced profound ugliness. What do you think? Thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.